Have you ever felt like you are living a life that isn't really yours? This feeling is not a loud or dramatic crisis, but a quiet, persistent hum beneath the surface of your days. It is the ghost in the machine of your own existence. A feeling that, somehow, you are following a script written by someone else. A script handed to you at birth by parents, teachers, friends, by the very air of the society you breathe. And deep down in the silent, unobserved moments of your existence, a part of you, a forgotten and authentic part, is screaming that something is profoundly wrong. You wake up every day. You perform the ritual. You put on the same mask you wore yesterday, a face of competence, of contentment, of control. It is a masterpiece of social engineering, a carefully polished shield you hold up against the world. You fulfill your obligations. You navigate your relationships. You interact with the world as if everything is fine. But a shield is also a burden, and a mask, worn for too long, fuses with the skin. At some point, when the noise of the day finally recedes and a fragile silence arrives, in the car, in the shower, in the moments before sleep, that uncomfortable, inescapable question arises from the depths. Who am I, really, beneath all of this? Carl Jung, one of the great explorers of the human soul, believed that this feeling of disconnection is not a coincidence. It is not a sign of failure, but a vital symptom of a deep and universal problem that almost no one has the courage to face. He proposed that most people go through their entire lives without ever truly meeting themselves. They mistake the map for the territory. They limit their existence to playing social roles, inhabiting manufactured identities, and chasing imposed expectations. And the worst part? They believe that this performance, this surface-level existence, is all there is. They die without ever having known the vast, complex, and powerful world of their own soul. They live and die as strangers to themselves. And now comes the most important question of your life. Is this happening to you? That which you call yourself, your personality, your desires, your beliefs, your fears, how much of it is truly yours? And how much was placed there by others, accepted without question, and mistaken for your own identity? This journey, this video, is an invitation to find that answer. It is a call to stop looking out at the world of dreams and begin the courageous journey of looking in, towards the dawn of your own awakening. Chapter 1. The Persona and its Shadow. To understand this profound disconnection, we must first become architects of our own psyche, to see the structure we have built. Since childhood, we have been conditioned to survive in a social landscape. We were born as whole, authentic beings, but we quickly learned that our wholeness was not always welcome. Through the subtle cues of praise and punishment, affection and withdrawal, we learned that certain parts of us were acceptable, and other parts were not. Perhaps you were taught to be polite, to never show anger, to always please others. So you took your righteous anger, your selfish desires, and you buried them. Or maybe you learned the opposite, that you had to be strong at all times, to hide your vulnerability, to project an image of unshakable confidence. So you took your fear, your sensitivity, your need for comfort, and you buried them. Unconsciously, you began to shape an identity that was not a true reflection of your whole self, but a curated version, edited for public consumption. Carl Jung gave this social mask a name, the persona. The word comes from the Latin for the masks worn by actors in ancient theater. It is the face you present to the world, the version of yourself you have constructed to fit in, to be loved, to succeed. The persona is your ambassador to society. And do not be fooled, we all have one. It is a necessary tool. Without it, we would be unable to navigate the complexities of social life. But here lies the profound danger. The danger is not in having a persona, but in becoming it. When you completely identify with this mask, you begin to forget who you truly are underneath. The mask becomes the face. Think for a moment. How many times have you said yes when your entire being screamed no? How many times have you hidden a genuine thought for fear of judgment? How many times have you found yourself smiling when inside you wanted to rage or weep? Each time you do this, the persona grows stronger and your true self grows fainter. You are no longer an authentic individual, but a character playing a role that you didn't even consciously choose, and the persona cannot sustain your soul. It is a diet of empty calories. It can bring you social acceptance, but not self-acceptance. It can earn you compliments, but not genuine fulfillment. But if the persona is the mask we show the world, what happens to all the parts of ourselves that we deem unacceptable? The anger, the fear, the passion, the creativity, the wildness? They do not simply vanish. Energy is never destroyed. It is only transformed or repressed. These rejected parts are pushed down into the dark, silent cellar of our unconscious. Jung called this collection of rejected parts the shadow. The shadow is your exiled twin. It is everything you are, but have decided you are not allowed to be. It holds your unexpressed rage, your secret joys, your forbidden desires, and most importantly, your undeveloped potential. It is in this darkness, in this shadowland, that the true quest for your soul begins. Chapter 2. The Case of the Gilded Cage. Let us make this tangible. Imagine a man we'll call James. To the world, James is the perfect persona. He is a successful architect, known for his precision, his calm demeanor, and his unwavering reliability. He is the good son who never disappointed his parents, the dependable husband who provides a stable life, the strong and silent friend who always listens but never burdens others with his own problems. His life is a blueprint of success, a perfectly constructed edifice, built exactly as society told him it should be. But inside this beautiful structure, James is starving. When he is alone, when the applause for his persona fades, the silence is deafening. He feels a persistent, low-grade anxiety, a sense of profound emptiness that his achievements cannot fill. He finds himself inexplicably drawn to chaotic, passionate art, to stories of rebellion he can't explain. At night, he has frustrating dreams of being a painter, his hands covered in vibrant, messy colors, but he always wakes up just before he can finish the masterpiece. The waking world feels gray and muted compared to the vivid, chaotic world of his dreams. James's persona is the logical, stable architect. It has served him well, earning him respect and a comfortable life in a gilded cage. But to build this persona, he had to reject other parts of himself. As a child, he was a passionate, messy, and emotional artist. He loved to draw, to create worlds from nothing. It was the only time he felt truly alive. But he was told this was an impractical dream, a childish hobby, not a serious career. He was praised for his math skills, for his logic, for his tidiness. And so, he learned the painful lesson. To be loved, he had to amputate the artist. He repressed that passionate, creative, and sometimes chaotic part of himself, pushing it into the darkness. That exiled artist is James's shadow. His unexplained anxiety is the shadow's cry for attention. His dreams are the shadow's attempt to communicate, to show him the masterpiece he is failing to create. His own life. The emptiness he feels is the void left by his amputated self. James believes he needs to work harder, to design a more impressive building, to be an even better architect to fill this void. He is trying to solve an internal problem with external solutions, but he is looking for the answer on the outside, in the world of the persona. Jung would say that James is dreaming. He will only awaken when he has the courage to look inward, to open the door to his own cellar, and face the passionate, paint-splattered artist he left behind. Chapter 3. The Unconscious and its Archetypes. The story of James is not just the story of one man. It is a universal human story. The forces that shaped him are the same forces that shape us all. To understand the mechanism behind the persona and the shadow, we must go deeper than personal history, into the very source code of the human psyche. Jung believed that the mind is not just a repository of our personal experiences. Beneath our conscious awareness and our personal unconscious, where our own forgotten memories and repressed feelings reside, lies a deeper, more ancient layer he called the collective unconscious. Think of it as the psychic DNA of the human species. It is a shared inheritance, a vast ocean of experiences and symbols common to all of humanity, across all cultures and all of history. Within this collective ocean swim the archetypes. Archetypes are primordial patterns, universal blueprints for our emotions, behaviors, and understanding of the world. They are not things we learn. They are potentials we are born with, like the instinct of a bird to build a nest. You have felt their power your entire life. The archetype of the hero, driving you to overcome challenges and slay dragons, both external and internal. The sage, pushing you to seek truth, wisdom in the quiet of the library or the mountaintop. The caregiver, compelling you to nurture and protect, sometimes to your own detriment. The rebel, urging you to tear down outdated structures and challenge unjust authority. The lover, seeking ecstatic connection and intimacy. These are not just characters in stories. They are active, living forces within your own psyche. The problem arises when our life, our persona, becomes dominated by or possessed by a single archetype while the others are forced into the shadow. James, our architect, became possessed by the archetype of the ruler, the builder of order, control, and structure. In doing so, he exiled the archetype of the creator to his unconscious. Someone who lives only as the caregiver will inevitably repress their inner rebel, becoming a martyr, unable to stand up for themselves. A lifelong hero may repress their inner sage, always acting but never reflecting, eventually burning out in a blaze of meaningless action. This imbalance is the source of our inner conflict. The unconscious does not like to be ignored. It seeks balance. It will send messages through dreams, through unexplained emotions, through anxieties, through the people we are inexplicably drawn to or repulsed by, to signal that we are living an incomplete, fragmented life. The journey of individuation is the process of recognizing these archetypal forces within us, bringing them into the light of consciousness, and integrating them into a harmonious, functional whole. Chapter 4. The Modern Toolkit for Awakening. This journey from dreaming to awakening is not merely a philosophical idea. It is a practical process. It is the work of a lifetime. Jung provided tools for this inward journey, methods to begin the sacred dialogue with your own unconscious. The first and most accessible tool is dream journaling. Your dreams are not random neurological noise. They are direct, unfiltered letters from your unconscious, written in the symbolic language of your shadow and your archetypes. Keep a journal by your bed. The moment you wake, before the logic of the day takes over and the dream evaporates like morning mist, write down everything you can remember. The images, the feelings, the characters, the colors. Do not try to analyze them at first. Simply collect them. This act of paying attention is the first step in honoring your inner world. It tells your unconscious, I am listening. The second tool is active imagination. This is not idle daydreaming. It is a conscious, focused dialogue with the parts of yourself that emerge from the unconscious. Find a quiet space where you will not be disturbed. Bring to mind a powerful dream image or a persistent, nagging feeling. Anxiety, anger, sadness. Close your eyes and allow that image or feeling to take on a form, a character, an animal, a landscape. Then engage with it. Ask it questions. What do you want? Why are you here? What part of me are you? What do you have to teach me? Allow the answers to arise without judgment, as if you are watching a film. You are opening a direct channel to the hidden parts of your psyche. The third and most courageous tool is the practice of shadow work. This is the act of consciously seeking out what you have unconsciously hidden. Ask yourself brutally honest questions. What quality in other people irritates you the most? Often, the things we cannot stand in others are the very qualities we have disowned in ourselves. When do you feel intense envy? Envy is a powerful signpost, pointing directly to a disowned desire or a latent potential. When do you feel righteous indignation or a sense of moral superiority? This often masks an unexamined hypocrisy. What did you love to do as a child that you no longer do? The answers point to passions exiled to the shadow. What are you most afraid of people discovering about you? That fear is the gatekeeper to a part of your authentic self. These are not easy practices. They require patience, courage, and a willingness to sit with discomfort. But they are the practical steps of looking inward. They are the tools for awakening. Chapter 5. The Journey to Wholeness. We began with a question. Have you ever felt like you are following a script written by someone else? We now see that this script is written by the persona, directed by unconscious archetypes and fueled by a fear of our own shadow. But the central message of Jung's work is this: you are not meant to be just an actor in your own life. You are meant to be the author. The journey of individuation is the process of taking back the pen, of writing your own final act. We have traveled from the surface of our lives to the oceanic depths of the soul. We deconstructed the persona, the necessary but dangerous mask we all wear. We dared to name the shadow, the exiled and powerful parts of ourselves we have rejected. Through the story of James, we saw how this inner division creates a life of quiet desperation. We explored the deep mechanisms of the psyche, the collective unconscious and its archetypes that pull our strings from behind the curtain. And finally, we have been given a toolkit, dream work, active imagination, and shadow work to begin the practical, sacred pilgrimage of integration. This is not a journey to become a perfect person. That is the impossible, exhausting goal of the persona. This is a journey to become a whole person. It is the courageous path of accepting your entirety, your light and your darkness, your strength and your vulnerability, your order and your chaos. To be whole is to be free. The world does not need more perfect characters. It needs more authentic, awakened human beings. The path is not easy. It requires you to abandon the comfort of conformity and embrace the glorious and sometimes terrifying uncertainty of your own soul. As Carl Jung wisely said, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step inward. If something in this video has awakened a question within you, share it in the comments. What is one part of your own script you are now willing to question? This is only the beginning. To explore these tools in greater detail and continue the path of self-discovery, subscribe to the channel and join our community of seekers. The next chapter of your story is waiting to be written. We will see you there.